My name is Genevieve. I would like to say thank you to the organizers for inviting me to share some warm laksa in the form of some insights and personal sharing with you all. As they say, sharing is caring. So my hope, and I also pray that after my small and humble sharing to you all, that you will be inspired and maybe can extract something useful that you can use in your journey with God. Just a brief background about myself. I am the alumni for the Institute of Formation Fundación Asia, or in short, IFFA, of Batch 11. In this institute in the Philippines, I studied pastoral leadership, specializing in youth ministry and family life, and the joy of the gospel and new evangelization. My batch had 17 of us from all across Southeast Asia, such as Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, Indonesia, and Cambodia. So we live in a community, adapting to each one's culture and traditions. So we studied together, we did pastoral and mission work together for about a year. I would like to share a bit of my experience when I was studying in the Philippines. It was in one of those sessions where we had to come up with a personal philosophy or guide in our journey with Jesus. So, as I was reflecting in the chapel in the area where I was studying, I spent some time just staring at the cross, asking Jesus, what can I do? Where can I go? And where does He want to lead me? After some time, this verse came to me, and I started to write some reflections about it. The verse was in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 16 to 19. It read, "May He strengthen in you the inner self through His Spirit, according to the riches of His glory, and may Christ dwell in your hearts through faith. May you be rooted and grounded in love. All of this so that you may understand with all the holy ones the width, the length, the height, and the depth. In a word, that you may know the love of Christ that surpasses all knowledge, that you may be filled and reach the fullness of God." So when I was reflecting on this verse, I was inspired to draw out a diagram to form this personal philosophy of mine. So let me share this simple diagram with you all. Let me explain further and how I relate it to my journey with Jesus. Firstly, in the center of the diagram is Jesus, represented in the Eucharist. And Jesus being the center of my life, the shepherd of my soul, and the reason of my purpose and existence, is the center of this whole diagram. And it's what pulls everything together. So without Him, everything falls apart. Like in Philippians chapter 1 verse 21 says, "For me, to live is Christ." Next, on top of this diagram are the praying hands. For me, it signifies my gaze upwards, and my hands may it remind me that my hands always be raised in praise and worship to Him. For He is the King of my heart, the lover of my soul, and the God of my life. Next, on the right side of the diagram, it symbolizes as Christ outstretched His right hand. So for me, it reminds me that may I also extend my hand of unconditional love to my family, friends, and foe. Reminding myself that at times those closest to us might hurt us, but unintentionally. But I will still continue to love. May I be a bridge for peace, and keeping in mind that they are also a soul worth saving. On the left side of the diagram, for me, it symbolizes as Christ outstretched His left hand, may I extend my hands to charity and be living witnesses to those I encounter. May I be His light for those who have yet to know about Him. May I be present and help bring comfort to the lost, the despair, and lonely. And lastly, at the bottom of the diagram, for me, it symbolizes and reminds me that I need to be deeply rooted and grounded in His Word. Like a lover's sweet, endearing words remain deeply in the heart, may His words too be even more rooted in my heart and be my guide. And may I also be deeply firm in my faith as well, as in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 58 says, "Stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourself fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Thus, this whole diagram guided me as I went through the formation, reminding me of His love for me on the cross. And it continued to guide me when I did my internship after my formation, being among the youth. Well, that's it for my sharing. I hope this sharing did inspire you in some small way and warm your heart. Thank you everyone. Stay safe. So this is Genevieve, representing alumni of IFFA Batch 11, serving you laksa for our jiwa. Selamat menjamu selera, happy eating and holy living. Bye-bye.